As if losing Alvin Kamara wasn't bad enough, guess who else the Saints lost? Every single active running back, from Latavius Murray to Michael Burton to Dwayne Washington, even a running back coach. Is there more? Oh, yeah, there's more. All that and more coming up on the State of Black and Gold pregame show. What's good, all you, the Who Dat Nation? It is the one and only Who Dat Davis here for you. And if you don't know, you will know that over here, we bleed black and gold until we are dead and cold. And thank you for joining me tonight for the first ever pregame show episode of 2021, courtesy of yours truly, Who Dat Davis. And I can't wait to get into all the information, all the keys of prediction, all the previews, all the good stuff, all things Saints fun, good and bad, and everything in between. But before we get into all that, I want to give a special shout out to everybody who has been following me since I started S.O.B.G a couple of months back. It has been a wild ride. We are already on course to reaching 1K subscribers on YouTube. That is an absolutely huge step. That is a huge step, and I am absolutely blessed to be having you guys here with me on this journey. Thank you so much from the bottom of this kid's heart. Now, with that said, going to get into our next piece of announcement, my schedule. I did tell you guys on the first week of January, I was gonna announce the schedule for the S.O.B.G podcast. But I'm happy to say I have that schedule right here for you. Every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday, your boy will be going live or posting an update on all things Saints news until the Saints season is officially over. So that's right. Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. Look out for all that juicy content, all that juicy S.O.B.G content. It's going to be so much fun to make. Oh man, the inspiration is already flowing. My next piece of announcement is this. As I started up the S.O.B.G podcast a couple months back, I knew eventually that doing stuff like this, it could be fun, but also it can get kind of lonely. You know what I'm saying? So I have not decided yet, but you could be seeing me with a co-host. That's right. I could be looking for a co-host in the near future. Who that co-host might be, I don't know yet. I'll leave that for you to decide. If you think that you should be a co-host with yours truly here on the S.O.B.G podcast, don't be afraid to hit me up either on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. All of my handles are in the description below. Last piece of information. It's just an opinion. 2021 is already starting off absolutely terrible. That's that. Now let's get into the reasons why. For those who haven't seen my video earlier this week on Wednesday, Alvin Kamara has been placed on the COVID-19 list. For those who don't know why, Alvin Kamara went out to a party not too long after his Christmas game where he put up 6 tubs against the Minnesota Vikings and single-handedly knocked them out of the playoffs. Alvin Kamara on the COVID-19 list is a frustrating thing, but yours truly, I wasn't all that concerned after I thought about it until more news less than 24 hours later came out that every single running back in a running back room has been placed on the COVID-19 list because they were deemed a high-risk contact. That means no Latavius Murray. That means no Dwayne Washington. That means no Michael Burton. What? This is similar to the Denver Broncos situation, only the Saints are still in a more favorable position because it has been absolutely confirmed that the Saints are going to be elevating practice squad running back Tony Jones Jr. out of Notre Dame. Is going to be paired with Ty Montgomery and a little bit of Taysom Hill sprinkled in. How do I feel about that? It could be worse. It could be worse. We know how good of a running back Ty Montgomery can be from the tape we have on him in Green Bay. He wasn't used all that much in New York, but it's the Jets. Okay, we're not going to worry about the Jets. We know what Ty Montgomery can bring to the table in terms of the running game when he played for Green Bay. Okay, he's a dynamic player. He's finally going to see a full 60 minutes of action. Taysom Hill is going to be called upon to do a lot more, and maybe we might see a little bit of Tony Jones Jr. We don't know. I hope we see a little bit of Tony Jones Jr. I was a little high on him when he was playing in Notre Dame. I've watched him a little bit, seeing what he can do. He's a shifty guy. He's a physical guy, and he's known to keep his balance. He's known to keep his balance. He's kind of like that mixture of Dalvin Cook and Alvin Kamara, like a poor man's Dalvin Cook. Okay, I'll just say that he's a poor man's Dalvin Cook. So, like this situation, it can be worse. Okay, they still have Emmanuel Sanders, they still have Marquez Callaway, they still have Jared Cook, they still have Adam Trautman, they still have all of their weapons in terms of receiving positions. So, like I said, it could be worse. They still have Drew Brees and Jameis Winston. But what my thing about it is, yes, this team has a lot of depth, but you see this team egressing in the wrong direction for every one thing they do right in terms of getting healthy defensively and offensively. It's like 2 steps backwards. First, it started with C.J. Gardner-Johnson getting placed on the COVID-19 list. Then it got switched around to Alvin Kamara, and now the entire running back room is placed on the COVID-19 list. I don't understand what this team is doing in their spare time, but they need to get their priorities in order. You have a Super Bowl run to make. You have to get Drew Brees this Super Bowl win so we can ride him off into the sunset. Why? Because let's face it, people, this is most likely Drew Brees' final season. I fully believe this is Drew Brees' last season. But how the Saints are being structured offensively, defensively, signing David Onyemata, signing Demario Davis, signing Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, they're absolutely preparing for the future. Like, the writing's on the wall. All you have to do is just read the room. So I believe this is Drew Brees' last season. So they need to do everything in their power to make sure they stay on the field to help number 9. You can't help number 9 if you're placed on a COVID list. How you stay on the COVID list? Stop doing dumb stuff. Stop putting yourself in compromising positions. Whether it's throwing a party or going out to the club to meet some fans, you need to put the team first. You guys should have that mentality to where, okay, we know what we did wrong last year. We were 13-3, as TJ Jones said in his recent episode. This team was 13-3. They felt like they shouldn't be there, and I actually agree with him. They need to have the mindset where they need to be absolutely taking it seriously. And right now, they're not showing to be taking it seriously. The 1 seed is still very much alive for the Saints team. Why? Because Green Bay has to play Chicago, who is actually playing for a lot coming tomorrow. What are they playing for? They're playing for a playoff spot. They can't rely on the Los Angeles Rams to beat the Cardinals. So they're going to be playing with a lot of intensity. They're going to be determined to beat Green Bay. So I believe Green Bay is going to win that. Not going to win. But I believe Chicago is going to win that game against Green Bay. And I absolutely believe that Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks can take care of business and avoid that trap game against the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco already spoiled the party for the Arizona Cardinals just about. And now they're looking to do the same with not only Seattle, but also New Orleans by proxy. This is very much a winnable 1 seed for the Saints. They just have to take care of business. Stay on the field. Y'all have until March, basically. If y'all can't hold off your parties, y'all can't hold off your friends until pretty much March, or maybe I'll go as far as say the end of February. If you can't hold off all that extracurricular stuff until the end of February, you're in trouble. You're absolutely in trouble, team-wise. Y'all can't afford another mistake. The cap is going to go way down in this offseason. Way down. A lot of players are going to leave. Who I believe is going to leave? Let's list it off. We have Drew Brees, Jared Cook, Thomas Morstead. Let's see who else. Alex Anzalone, Marcus Williams, And that's just a caveat. That's just like that's 7 names right there, 7 big names. I have no way of figuring out how Mickey Loomis, or Morpheus Loomis, as I like to call him, how he's going to structure this this Saints team for the future. Granted, he's signed some key pieces. I believe David Onyemata is going to be a captain for the defensive line. I believe signing DeMario Davis is a big step. I believe he's going to sign Ryan Ramczyk to an extension because let's face it, guys, you need Ryan Ramczyk. You need Ryan Ramczyk for the future. If you can't sign your stud right tackle, you're in trouble. You need to sign him first and foremost. He is a priority. You've already locked up Alvin Kamara. Get Ryan Ramczyk locked up. And then if you can sign Marshawn Lattimore, provided he doesn't have a 5th-year option, then do that. But let's say that Ryan Ramczyk and Marshawn Lattimore both have 5th-year options, and they decide to take it. Okay, great. Now let's just focus on Marcus Williams. Everybody who's hung their heads heavy on Marcus Williams, me included, let's not get that misunderstood. Marcus Williams is a top 10 safety this season. Let's not get that confused, guys. He's a top 10 safety. Marcus Williams is rated number 8. He's ranked 8th. His tackling is rated the best out of all safeties this season. That includes Buda Baker out of Arizona, and that includes Jamal Adams out of Seattle. And you all see what Jamal Adams is capable of over there in Seattle. To be rated over guys like that, you need to be able to find a way to keep this man at the Saints. If you can't do that, then you need to make a push for Paris Ford in the draft. Because talent like that is going to hurt you. You need to be able to replace that. Paris Ford gives you that best option going forward. If you can get him, I'm fine with that. Or someone serviceable. And speaking of safeties, guess who else got placed on the COVID-19 list because they were a high-risk contract? Safety DJ Swearinger. DJ Swearinger was placed on the COVID-19 list as well. And that's going to be problematic because they're already out Marcus Williams. And now they're out DJ Swearinger. So who's going to be back there? They've already called up a practice squad guy. So it looks like it's going to be PJ Williams and Malcolm Jenkins playing in the backfield, playing in probably a lot of cover 2s, maybe even cover 3s. You're not going to see a lot of Malcolm Jenkins blitz off the edge or Malcolm Jenkins down in the box. You can't risk him getting injured. So I believe you're going to see those guys play deep back and let them hopefully handle this 3-headed monster and Curtis Samuel, DJ Moore, and Robbie Anderson. What other Saints news that I have? Well, not a whole lot of good. You still have Michael Thomas. You still have Deontay Harris. And you have Traquan Smith. You have 3 of your starting wide receivers on IR still. And it sucks. Let's see who the Saints brought up. They brought up Lil Jordan Humphreys. They brought up Garrett Griffin. They brought up Tommy Lee Lewis. Those are 3 receivers, and Garrett Griffin is going to be filling in for Michael Burton at the fullback position. Garrett Griffin is serviceable. He can get you what you need in terms of the run game, okay, in terms of run blocking. So Garrett Griffin, I have no problem being a fullback. What are my concerns for this game? The Saints are going to not be on their P's and Q's. They're going to look at this Carolina Panthers team like they're some walk in the park. They seem to do this late in the regular season before going to the postseason, and they mess up their potential playoff seeding even more than they should. They need to handle business, get in there, get out. That's all they need to do. Just get in there, win, get out. How do you win? You bleed that clock out as fast as possible while keeping ahead of your opposing team in terms of scoring. Run the ball still. Just because you don't have your running backs doesn't mean you abandon the run game. Use Ty Montgomery the way you use Latavius Murray. Use Troy Pride the way you use Alvin Kamara. Let sprinkle in some Taysom Hill. Pound the football. Please pound the football. Do yourselves a favor. Win this game as fast as possible so you can go ahead and get out of there and get ready for the postseason. please, everybody, for our peace of mind. Let's go ahead and read some of these comments real quick before we get into our further points. We got some new faces in here. I love seeing. Shouts out to everybody. Like I said earlier, we got the OG Tara. Shouts out to Tara. Got Pick It and Flick It. Shouts out to you, Jerry, my man. Got the 3 of the OGs already. I see. We got someone here new, King D. What's going on, King D? Appreciate you joining in, man. I hope you're enjoying this podcast so far. I can't wait to hear from you a little more. Jerry Poor says, we got to go with what we got for Sunday. Yeah, man, we got to go with what we got. I absolutely agree with you. I do believe the Saints team can win on Sunday, provided they just stay on their business, man. Like I said, they still have their 1-2 punch at the receiver position in terms of Emmanuel Sanders and Marquez Callaway. They still have Jared Cook and Adam Troutman. They still have their weapons on the outside. So this is far from the Denver Broncos situation. And they still have plenty of weapons to pound the rock. If they could just pound the rock with Ty Montgomery and Tony Jones Jr. and Taysom Hill, that really just shows you how deep they are in terms of quality depth and how dangerous this team can be in the postseason once they get all of their arsenal back. Get Michael Thomas back, get Deontay Harris back, get Alvin Kamara back, get Latavius Murray, get all those guys back. If they can put up big points tomorrow, just think about what they can do in the postseason. They just stay on their P's and Q's. We got Rose City, a.k.a. William Dickerson. What's going on with you, man? I believe this is my first time seeing you in the S.O.B.G podcast. Shouts out to you. Happy to see you. He's saying, who dat Davis, OG Terry, and Tamara, who dat to you, my brother, man. Appreciate you coming here, brother. Tara says, it could be a whole D-line, but thank God it isn't. I agree, man. Look, if we lost all of our D-line, that's a scary thought. I don't even want to think about that. Okay? In terms of defensive line, for those who don't know, Trey Hendrickson and Malcolm Brown are full participants. They are now fully healthy. So the Saints have their full defensive line. They have all of them. They have Sheldon Rankins. They have Marcus Davenport. They have Cameron Jordan. They have David Onyemata, Malcolm Brown, all those guys. They're all fully healthy. So that's a really, really comforting sight because it looks like this Saints defense is going to have to carry this Sunday just to get the W and probably force a couple of turnovers. So I'm really happy that those guys are doing what they're supposed to do and making sure that they're available for Sunday. What I'm saying is the running backs might surprise us. I believe so. I believe they're pretty stout at the running back position as well. I believe this is why you signed Ty Montgomery. I believe this is also why Sean Payton went on to talk about Ty Montgomery this past Monday when he was being interviewed, post-practice interview. I believe this is why he was talked about. I believe they knew Alvin Kamara was going to be placed on the COVID-19 list well before yesterday. That's just my thought. That's my caveat on it. We got Jesse Michael here. Shout out to Jesse, man. I believe you're also a new face. We got a lot of new faces here tonight, guys. I'm really happy for that. Shout out to Jesse. Thank you for coming by, tuning into the show. The link is going to be posted down in the comment section in just a little bit. I will be accepting callers. Jesse says it has nothing to do on field. It's off field. Yeah, it's definitely off field, man. It's definitely Chauncey Gardner-Johnson going to parties and Alvin Kamara going to clubs. The Saints team just needs to handle their business. That's all That's all they need. That's all they have to do for these last couple of months. Just handle your business, get to the Super Bowl, win it, and then you can do everything you want to do after that. You can contract COVID and kill it for all we care. I should say all I care, for all we care. Just make sure you handle your business and just hold off. You don't have that much longer. You're in the home stretch. You're getting ready to go into the home stretch. Just hold off on all the parties, hold off on all the contacts, and just do what you need to do for your team and get this Lombardi. Please. Rose City says, I don't know, though. I mean, yeah, look. It's like, am I skeptical about this running back core right now? Absolutely, man. I'm absolutely skeptical about this running back core. But, like I said, Ty Montgomery and Tony Jones Jr., they can easily get at least 3.5 to 4 yards per carry, especially Ty Montgomery and this running behind this stout offensive line. And they have Nick Easton back. They have Andrews Pete back. They have all their weapons back in terms of offensive line. Everybody's going to be there. Okay, so Ty Montgomery should have a good game. he should have at least 4 yards per carry on the ground. Tara says, I believe it's off the field. Yeah, it's definitely off field. It is most definitely off field. Let's scroll down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Tara says it's irresponsible. It's definitely irresponsible. I'm not going to be these guys on Twitter that's calling out these Saints players like publicly and trying to tag them and whatnot, and trying to get into their heads and try to talk this all this noise. I'm not going to do that. I'm just here to spit facts, and that's that. I still love these guys. I'm not going to be too mad at them because they've been on their P's and Q's all season. A little slip up here and there. Like if this was like a reoccurring thing for me, if this was a reoccurring thing for the team rather, then I'd probably be singing a different tune. But this is the first time we've really seen this Saints team kind of slip up. But it's just coming at a wrong time. It's like wrong place, wrong time type of situation right now. Jerry Porsche, that's like those Saints, Seahawks, and Bears. Look, yes, sir. I believe the Bears can beat Green Bay. They're going to be on their P's and Q's. They're also going to be at home. They got a lot to play for themselves, man. They want to see the postseason. Mitchell Trubisky, is playing with a lot of confidence, more so than he has this entire season and probably last season. He's relying on Jimmy Graham. Their offense starting to get rolling, and that's more than what we could say about this Bears team when they were under Nick Foles. So I do believe the Bears are going to handle business against the Packers, and the Seahawks are going to take care of business against against San Francisco. So all we have to do is make sure we take care of business, and we're most likely going to see the 1 seed. And if that 1 seed is ours, that bye week is going to be absolutely huge. And not just because it's going to go to the dome, but because you get a chance to get all your starters back off of these injured reserves, the COVID-19 reserves list. Rose City says Saints need to have a bubble going into the playoffs. I do believe they need to. I do believe the same thing, bro. They need to be in some type of bubble. They need to be in this hotel. Look, if they can't handle being in a bubble format or a hotel bubble format for these last 2 potential months, then I don't know what to say. Mickey Loomis can make it happen. Mrs. Benson can make it happen. She's shown she can make it happen. They're not afraid to spend money out of their pockets just so they can protect their team and put them in a position to where they can actually be successful in the postseason. I do believe that. Jesse's Michael says, we down to just PJ. Look, that's scary, man. I guess a wide receiver core that's as stout as the Carolina Panthers, having PJ Williams back there, something I want to envision. I believe this key to winning. One of my keys to victory for this game, the Saints defensive line has to get home against Teddy Bridgewater. They only managed to get 1.5 sacks in their last meeting or earlier in the year. They need to get more. Trey Henderson needs to get more. Marcus Davenport, all those guys need to step up. They need to pressure Teddy Bridgewater to throw some hurry throws. You can't let him sit in the pocket and let him go over the top. Not when you're down. Not only your starting free safety, but your backup free safety as well. Tara says PJ Crawley. Yeah, Crawley, man. That's the yikes. Jack Rabbit. Tara. Rose City says Crawley may be in the slot. Oh man, yeah, I heard about that from Chris. I heard about that from Chris. That Crawley might be in the slot to replace C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I don't know who they're going to line up in. It's probably Robbie Anderson to take advantage of that matchup. But if Ken Crawley can stay on his P's and Q's long enough for the Saints defensive line to get home, then I won't have too many issues. But it's going to rely on the Saints defensive line and the Saints offense to keep moving. Okay, just stay productive all game long. Tara says they don't look promising, but I hope we come up with a win. I do believe the Saints team can come up with a win, Tara. I do believe Sean Payton is game planning as we speak. He's game planning as we speak to come up with a game plan and go over that game plan with some of his fellow coaching staff. And I believe the Saints can get that W. If they can't win against the Carolina Panthers, then the 1 seed is over. And I do believe that Sean Payton understands that. I believe the Saints team led by Drew Brees understands that. Jesse Michael says Jack Rabbit not playing safety. Yeah, I know he's not playing safety, but my thing is He's going up against the likes of Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, and the like, and Teddy Bridgewater, who's elusive and can escape the pocket when he needs to. So let's hope Jack Rabbit can maintain his health and not get injured. And let's hope Marshawn Lattimore does the same. We need those guys. We absolutely need those guys. And it's not like we're the only ones dealing with these type of issues. You know what I mean, guys? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are also going to be without one of their starting linebackers in Devin White. There's a lot of COVID, a lot of star players for teams all over the league just going down on the COVID list. From Ryan Fitzpatrick is a prime example. So it's definitely just not us, which is a comforting curative, if you want to call it that. But I wish this wasn't the case. Jesse says the interior line been suspect. It's that portion of the line that got Drew damn near killed. Now look. Yes, to a degree, but my thing is, Jesse, yes, Cesar Ruiz gave up that sack, but there's other factors that play into it. When Drew Brees was playing against San Francisco, Drew Brees had no business playing in that game. He's like Matthew Stafford in terms of trying to play through all these injuries, and he's 40-something years old. He's going to be 42. You can't play through cracked ribs at 42 years old against a San Francisco defense that has played with a lot of pride and a lot of intensity. The San Francisco interior has not been decimated with injuries. It's the edge rushers like Nick Bosa that's been decimated with injuries. Javon Kinlaw is no slouch. Another element, Cesar Ruiz is playing the position he's never played before. He's played more left guard when he's played a little bit of left guard when he was in Michigan. He's never played right guard. He's never seen a right guard position. He's been primarily center. He's really good at that position. So I can't fault Cesar Ruiz too much for his pass protection when he's thrown into a situation like this, because he also didn't get the necessary reps he needs at right guard during training camp because of his injury. I believe Cesar Ruiz is doing everything he needs to do and everything that's asked of him. So couple that with Drew Brees never should have seen that field because of those injuries. I put that on Drew Brees just as much as Cesar Ruiz. Okay, I put that on Drew Brees just equally as much. I believe it shows a lot of guts, but I believe it's also selfishness, because now you are out 3 to 4 weeks, and even now you're still playing through ribs. You still have to wear some type of jacket to protect that rib area. So I believe Drew Brees just sat out and just took care of those ribs for like the 1 or 2 weeks, then we probably wouldn't even be in this position in the first place with him. That's just how I feel about it. I'm not trying to knock him too badly. Like I said, the guy's a competitive man. He's a very competitive man, and I respect him for it. But when you're trying to push for a Lombardi, when you're trying to push for the 1 seed, you have to take care of yourself, so you're also taking care of your teammates. Let's see. He's just says he played well there before. He played more of left guard instead of right guard. Let's see. Tara says, I thought they said Robbie Anderson is out. They might have said he was out. I don't know. I haven't really paid attention to the Carolina Panthers injury report. I'll probably look into it early tomorrow before I go live for my live reactions. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot. Yes, yours truly tomorrow is going to be doing his live reactions during the Saints versus Carolina Panthers game. I'll also be updating you guys when I can about the other 2 key games for the Saints. That's the Chicago Bears and Green Bay, and Seattle versus the 49ers. I'll give those updates when I can, but I'm not watching the Saints. They'll probably go to commercial and all that. Jesse says Teddy going to come out blazing. Yeah, Teddy's definitely going to want to end the season on a good note to build upon for the next season, man. So we got to make sure that doesn't happen. I love Teddy, but you got to hold this L, brother. Teddy, you ever see this? You got to hold this L, man. This is too important. You got TDI. I believe it's TDI. Who that for life? What's going on with you, my brother? I believe this is my first time seeing you here also. Shouts out to you, man. I hope you're enjoying the show. Let me go ahead and get this link in the comment section. Go ahead and open up the phone lines for you guys. Take a couple callers, let you guys air out your grievances and give your opinions. Let's debate. Let's debate because I'm really looking forward to this. While we're waiting for callers, let's go ahead and read some of the other comments. Jesse says, I agree. He needs to be on a pitch count in practice, and we need to not rely on Drew as much as we used to. Absolutely. I believe Sean Payton understands that also. He understands that Drew Brees is still playing through injury. He doesn't want to risk it. So I believe that's why he's been sharpening up on the run game. You saw what this team can do when they have a decent running game to run behind. And you've seen what the offensive line can do in terms of run blocking. Cesar Ruiz and Andrews Pete being the two most prominent ones. And I believe that's also why Andrews Pete was paid because of his run blocking ability, as TJ Jones talked about earlier this week. They're building for the future, and that future revolves around your new quarterback having a reliable running game to supplement his passing game. So I do believe he's preparing to get that run game going. I believe we're still going to see more of that run game, even with Ty Montgomery and Tony Jones Jr. and all those guys. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Ty Montgomery can do in terms of running behind the Saints offensive line, man. TDI says they're trying their best to knock us down. Man, it's always like that. I don't even understand what's going on. Like, what they have against the Saints, man? I really don't understand that. It's like every year the Saints have to battle through some sort of adversity just to get to just to try to sniff the Super Bowl. And I mean just to sniff the Super Bowl. It's like the Saints are just snake bitten. I'll use that word. They're just snake bitten, like either prior to postseason or just before they try to make a push for the Super Bowl. 2018, that bad no call, I'm still going to be ranting about that until the day I die. Argue with the wall. And now this season, they are going to be without Quan Alexander. It's just that injury came at a bad time. And now we got to deal with all this. It's like there's a force in motion. And I believe that force is Roger Goodell, who's trying to keep this Saints team down. And that's disappointing when you think about it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So, oh, man. Jerry Porter's not calling tonight, guys. That's the first. That sucks. I wanted to hear your thoughts, Jerry, but I understand. I hope to see you a little bit tomorrow during my live reactions. For those of you who don't know my live reactions, every Sunday going forward, I'm going to be doing live reactions for every Saints game that I can. I know I missed a couple because of my PC issues, but I got that fixed. So every Sunday you'll see me go live with my reactions, like, oh man, or oh yeah, like it's going to be a wild ride. You're going to see a lot of raw emotion coming from yours truly, and it's going to be really fun. Jesse says, hell yes, when they all clicking, it's unstoppable. It is unstoppable. I believe the only team that can beat the Saints is the Saints. And that's what you're seeing right now. The only team that can beat the Saints is the Saints. But this postseason, I really do believe that. I believe they have a strong case to make a playoff push towards the Super Bowl. Let's look at some of the competition, okay? Green Bay. Let's start with Green Bay. You got Aaron Rodgers, who's probably going to win MVP this year. You got Devontae Adams, who Marshall Lattimore can lock up. You have Alan Lazard, who Janoris Jenkins can lock up. Montez Valdez-Scantling, who they can also lock up. The only thing I'm scared about with the Green Bay Packers offensively is the tight end. Robert Tonyan, he leads the NFL in terms of touchdowns for a tight end. That's my only concern. If Alexander Anzalone can stay on his P's and Q's and take away the tight with C.J. Gardner-Johnson, then I'll be all for it, man. That's my only concern. I'm not worried about Aaron Rodgers beating us with Devontae Adams. I'm not worried about Aaron Rodgers beating us with Alan Lazard. I don't even think Aaron Jones is going to be a factor. I think it's going to be more the tight ends. It's going to be Robert Tonyan that's going to be that security blanket. And I believe this Packers offensive line is going to be really hurting. They lost their top 3 left tackle. Their left tackle was top 3 on all the NFL, and they lost them. Now, granted, they have some depth, but that left tackle spot, Trey Hendricks is going to take advantage of it. He's got some great technique. Them edge rushers have a lot of technique. even Carl Granderson. He's a guy that's raw talent. He can give you production. He has more sacks this season than Marcus Davenport. Think about that. More sacks than Marcus Davenport, more strip sacks than Marcus Davenport, and he's played less snaps than Marcus Davenport. Just think about that. Let's go ahead and get into our first caller. It is the one, the only, Chosen. What's going on with you, my man? How you doing?
What's going on, Who That Davis, man? I'm feeling pretty good, man. How you doing, brother? Happy New Year's to you, man.
Man, yeah, I wouldn't even call it a happy new year. It's just a new year at this point. 2021 already starting off with some bullshit. That's how I feel about it. But go ahead, man. What you got for me?
Yeah, man. I was just kind of calling, man. I know you was. I was looking forward to a Jerry call too, man. It's been a while. But yeah, man. I just kind of want to echo what you said, man. I kind of do agree. About we need to just get out of here, man. We don't need to play around. It's not a time for Sean Payton to pretty much get cute or try to see what he can do with less. It's time to put your pride to the side. It was kind of like a state of emergency. I don't want us to panic that way we're doing too much, but I feel like it all comes down to fundamentals. You still got that offensive line that's built to run. I mean, like we've been saying it for weeks now that this team look like it's built for post Drew Brees. So, I feel like we got the offensive line to run the ball. I mean, the way these guys played last week, I don't care if Old Man Jenkins was behind that line. I feel like when that line's playing like that, no matter who you got behind you, I mean, you can get some yards. And like you said, we don't need anything sexy and special. We don't need a big 15, 20-yard game. Just nip and tuck, 4 or 5 yards here, 2, 3 yards here. Be patient, run that clock. It's not about – it's at the end of the season. We also – I mean, we need to preserve our guys. You don't want to risk any more further injuries or knock on wood or anything else, what I'm saying, at the end of this game because, us, our team, we're built to win and we're built to last. The last few years we have been well, with the exception of the last 2 years of us actually playing on wild card weekend, but around this time we're normally used to resting our guys, and getting everybody back healthy and getting everybody up to par. But now it seems like we're gonna have to go to battle one last time. We know what's at stake, so you want to be efficient, but I don't think you want to be overwhelmed. I feel like you want to go in, get some first downs, get stops on defense when we need it. We like you said, we're back healthy on that front four. Dennis Allen, I'm pretty sure he's gonna come up with a game plan. I don't see us getting worked within the secondary like we did weeks before when we first played Carolina. Even though we have some guys out, I feel like we're going to get home. I feel like these front four, I think the defense and everybody knows what's at stake. I don't think this is the previous Saints teams that we've been seeing guys take things for granted. I think these guys know that, what I'm saying, this game is important. It's just not like no average week 17 game. We still have a chance for a bye, which could really work in our favor right now. I know at first we was downplaying the bye, but like you say, anything can happen. Look how all this changed from last week, bro. Now we went from not really so much caring about the bye to now it's like, okay, like damn, we really need it now. Like you don't realize how much that bye week, and it's crazy because I agree with what you said about us being snake bitten because it's like last year we had to deal with the tiebreaker and we're 13-3. We play on wild card weekend. And now we're the number 2 seed, which normally will have a bye week, but now it's like, okay, it's only one bye week this week. So it's like, damn, bro, like what can't we do? What can we do right? So I feel like it's just adversary. You can't write this. You can't predict this. This is like, I don't think Hollywood can write a script this good. I feel like this is just, I feel like this is just adversary at its finest. And I feel like moments like this really bring a team together, what I'm saying, being optimistic about it. I feel like things like this make the team gel together. We know what's at stake, man. We know what we have to do. Sean Payton can't get cute. Now it's time to play fundamental ball. Ground and pound, get off on third downs, make the stops. We can't give these guys no spark. We know they're not going anywhere, but that doesn't mean they can't stop us from going. So, man, I'm just looking forward to a good fundamental game. We can't, at minimum, maybe 4 or 5 penalties at the least. We can't go crazy with penalties. I understand we may jump the gun, guys get excited, but we have to be very, 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 very disciplined. Our playoffs start today. Actually, it should have started last week, but our playoffs tomorrow. We should have a mindset that our playoffs start tomorrow because we know what's at stake. We're short on guys, but we still have number 9 behind center. Man, I feel like Drew Brees is gonna channel in his inner Hall of Fame greatness, and he may not have the trust that he have with his other receivers, but you still have Sanders, you still have Callaway. I believe he's playing. Yeah, you still have Callaway and Ty Montgomery. He can be a bit versatile if you want to let him catch out the backfield. You can mix it up. Like I'm just more worried about our defense. In the secondary, we know Teddy Bridgewater could get trigger happy and send it down. They got a big gain on us earlier this week, man. So I'm just looking for these guys to do the necessary things possible to be successful. Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't get caught up with the press clippings. Don't get caught up with the outside noise. Play our game. We got to control what we can control.
That's Chosen, everybody. If those of you who don't know Chosen, anybody who calls in after him,
said that somebody in the comment section already commented and was like, we have to use what we have. So, I mean, that's what all we got, man. And I feel like this team is elite. That's what separates the pros from the Joes. This is a team that knows how to win. This is a coaching staff that knows what to do. These guys get paid the big bucks for situations, and this is what you prepare for. So I'm looking forward to a very competitive battle, man. And I feel like Sean Payton to get these guys where they need to be, man.
Chosen said a mouthful, everybody. I believe I agree with everything this man done said. I'm gonna highlight some points and then touch on it after you leave the call here. But let me get your thoughts on who you believe is going to stand out in this game tomorrow against the Panthers. Who you believe is going to be the player of the game?
I'm sorry, man. It's kind of breaking up. Can you get that one more time? I'm kind of connection issues.
Yeah, you good. I was asking you who you believe is going to be the Saints player of the game.
1 second. It's kind of static, and man, maybe if I could try to play it on my laptop, maybe I might can hear you better on there.
All right.
Okay, one more time.
Who do you believe is going to be the Saints player of the Oh man. Okay. Well, while we wait for Chosen, man, let me go ahead and highlight some of the things he said. For those of you who don't know Chosen is one of the premier guys you want to talk Saints football with. This man's IQ is as high as up there as anybody. I wouldn't be surprised if I see him coaching for an NFL team one of these days. He is that smart of a guy. Shouts out to Chosen, man. I love Chosen. I love debating football with him. Everything this man says, it's hard to disagree on anything this man says. This guy just hits the nail every time he spits, man. He just spits all that straight fire. I love that out of Chosen. One of the things that Chosen touched on was not going crazy with penalties, and I absolutely agree with that. Why? Because this Saints team can be very undisciplined when the chips are down, always committing DPIs, always committing offsides or holding. This Saints team needs to be disciplined throughout the board and limit penalties as much as possible. The Saints are third highest in terms of penalties this season, and that's in both because of how poorly disciplined they were in the first 5 weeks, racking up over 300 yards of penalties over that in that time span, which was rated the highest out of all the NFL. So if the Saints can stay on their PCQs, no matter who's playing what position, just don't choke. I'd rather you give up a big play rather than give up a pass interference because you never know what's going to happen. I'd rather you give up a play or get beat than commit a pass interference. Please, because you know these refs are going to be more than happy to throw a flag on the Saints. Just please, no crazy penalties. Shut up the Chosen for that one. And speaking of Chosen, we got Chosen back here, man. How's your connection going?
Okay, man. Yeah, I just went ahead and got on the laptop, man. I appreciate the shout outs, man. It's crazy you said that about the coaching, man. Actually, man, I was kind of a late bloomer with football, man. I didn't really pick up football, man, until honestly, bro, like I want to say around 12, 13 years old. I was always into basketball, and actually a injury in high school stopped me from
I kind of put down. I lost the passion to football, and I guess over the years, man, I just kind of refound it again, man. So I'm actually looking forward. I'm trying to coach a break team, man. I'm trying to be a defensive coordinator, man. So wish me luck on that, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so my question to you was, who do you believe is going to be the Saints player of the game tomorrow?
This player of the game, man. I honestly, offensive defense or
It doesn't
either
matter.
or.
It doesn't matter.
I think number 9 get us home, man. I'm looking for Drew Brees to make it happen. I feel like Teddy Bridgewater is going to try to take advantage of our secondary. I think these guys are going to battle it out, but I think Teddy, being the veteran he is, going up against some practice squad guys, I feel like Teddy got some moves that he learned from Drew. He's going to be looking to make a big splash. I feel like Teddy might edge it out, but I'm looking for Drew Brees to show. You might have been the student, but the student will never be better than the sensei, the master. I feel like Drew Brees is gonna clutch it out. One of those late game touchdowns, one of those, I feel like Drew Brees is really gonna carry this game, and I'm looking for Drew Brees to, kind of bring us home, man, and and just kind of secure that playoff run we're trying to make.
All right, Drew Brees, Drew Brees, big number 9, being player of the game. I can see that happening, and I believe they're gonna need a lot of big things from him in terms of the passing game, just to be able to keep ahead of the sticks and balance that with the run game. So I do believe Brees is going to be the player of the game. My player of the game, I believe, is going to be Marquez Callaway.
Marquez Callaway, okay.
Not just because of his ability to find the holes in the zones and go up and make a play. I also believe this is going to be a game where he finally gets his first NFL touchdown of his career. He's been way overdue. He should have had one against Minnesota if Drew Brees didn't underthrow it. But I do believe this is a game where we see Marquez Callaway finally get his first touchdown. He keeps the Saints alive on crucial third downs. His blocking is unbelievable. You can't ask for anything more out of a humble kid like Marquez Callaway coming out of Tennessee than what he's already given you as an undrafted rookie. So I do believe Marquez Callaway is going to be that player of the game, like he was last time we faced off against Carolina. I do believe they're going to be more clued in on Callaway, but I don't think they have the tools in the arsenal to try to keep up with them.
Yeah, and you know what, man? Now that you say that, I'm still going to stick with Drew, but I can also agree why you would say Marquez Callaway, man. If you look at his stats, man, the guy's averaging 9.4 yards a game, and that's just with him. And that's just with him playing the minimum he's playing. Now, if you look at Carolina's pass rush defense, they are like kind of in the top worst. I believe they're giving up at least 6.7, 6.8. Mathematically, that's about a 3.2, 3.3-ish difference. And those yards make a difference, man. So if you're looking at 9.4 yards a game, you're pretty much looking at damn near first down or 2nd and 1. So, I mean, if we can do that and keep the chains moving, the clock is still rolling, man. The clock is still rolling. He's a big body, 6'2", 204 pounds. The guy gets separation like a slot receiver, and he has a big physical body like Julio. I mean, it's just things that you can't teach. And the blocking, I think he inherited like Traquan Smith, man. Like those are gutsy plays that I like about football. I like the guys that do the dirty work. You know what I'm saying? It's not cute. It's not sexy. Don't always get the praise, and don't always end up on your highlight reel. But it's certain things that you do that helps out and opens up. This guy can outside block on that outside perimeter and find those cutback lanes, those openings for those, elusive backs like your Camaras and your Ty Montgomerys. Looking at Ty Montgomery from Green Bay in his college days, he's the type of running back, he likes to cut, he likes to slice and dice. He's not really a north-south guy. So I feel like that kind of run style is going to be very, very beneficial with the blocking skills we have. And as someone said, Adam Troutman, yes, like I'm looking for him to get very involved, and especially what he can do in that blocking and a lot of jumbo packages, man. It's like you don't know what this guy is going to do. If he's going to block, is he going to release? Is he going to come out, run a post, run a flat, run a curl, run a comeback? This guy can be used so many ways. It just keeps the defense guessing. So it's going to be a very interesting game, man. And I'm just looking for all these guys to just step up and just lead us to victory. Like I said, man, one down at a time, one play at a time, man. I'm just looking for an overall great game and just heading into the postseason with a good morale and a lot of confidence, man.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head with Alan Trautman, man. I've been big on him since his time in Dayton. I've seen a little bit of his games live when I went down there to visit some family. So shout out to Alan Trautman. Before I let you go here, man, let me get your final prediction, your final score prediction for this game. What you got for me?
Final score, I'm going to say the Carolina Panthers 20. I'm going to give the Saints a 27. I feel it's going to be around those kind of games. I feel like we're going to start off slow as usual, but I feel like it's only because everybody's still trying to figure out their roles, and Drew Brees is going to take some time to adjust, and I look for us to just bring it home in the second half. So 27-20 Saints. Drew Brees about 2 touchdowns, 200 at least 230 passing yards, man. So that's what I'm looking at.
All right, we got a bookmark, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you coming by, Chosen. Let everybody know where they can reach out to you, man. Go ahead and plug in your stuff.
Yes, sir. On Instagram, Chosen_Kingston. At Facebook, you can type in Chosen Kingston, and on YouTube, I'm just Chosen Kingston, man. You can find me on that. And man, one more thing before I let you go, man. I didn't know you was from Lake Charles, man. I didn't know that, brother. So I'm in Baton Rouge, so if I ever come that way,
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, man. I'm looking forward to you stopping by. I don't know. We might hook up, get some crawfish, something like that.
Oh, man, you already know.
Be a good time for the State Sunday, man. You know what I'm saying? Holla at your boy.
I got you, my brother. You take it easy.
All right, Chosen, take it easy, man. Shouts out to Chosen, everybody, man. This guy is an absolute legend of a man. Love Chosen for everything this man does. Let's go ahead and read some of these comments, man. I know a lot of people have been talking about some key things. I want to highlight some of them. One thing here for Rose City, he says, so I guess Tommy Lee Lewis and Galloway will split kickoffs and punts as Ty Montgomery will get AK snaps. And I do believe that. I think that's a good thing. You don't want to put Marquez Callaway in a compromising position to where he re-aggravates an ankle injury or a knee injury. You know what I mean? Yes, he can give you that. He can give you that production at the punt returns or the kick returns, but at the same time, he's a bigger piece for you going forward in the postseason. So shouts out to Rowe for that point. I do believe he's going to be splitting with Tommy Lee Lewis. I believe that's also why they elevated Tommy Lee Lewis in the first place, because he was one of those people. He was among that group of receivers / tight ends that was brought up from the practice squad. Marcus Ryan, shout out to Marcus, man. Marcus says Juwan Johnson has grown on me more. I can see him getting more targets. Yeah, man. I can see that, especially when you have Tre'Quan Smith mostly going out the door this offseason. I believe he's in his contract year this year. He might not be. He may have one more year. But either way, Juwan Johnson being in place of Tre'Quan Smith, that's really comforting. When you have a big body like that and Juwan Johnson, that is tight end, that's tight end height. That is tight end caliber, height and physicality that you have at a wide receiver and Juwan Johnson. I mean, if you can get that guy going, if you can get him more snaps, more reps, you will see another diamond in the rough in terms of undrafted free agents. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the future holds for someone like Juwan Johnson and Lil Jordan Humphreys. These guys are starting to come up when their number is called, and they haven't disappointed for the most part. So shout out to those guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they got, man. Kai the Great 84. I saw this coming earlier, but I wanted to highlight some others. So shout out to Kai, man. I've seen him a couple of times in here. He's always got a bright mind. So many bright minds in here in this chat. It's a blessing to be talking all this with you guys. Kai says Taysom Hill might be the X factor since all of our running backs are out. We still got Ty Montgomery and boy Tony Jones, but still look for Taysom Hill to be that guy. And I can agree with that, man. Taysom Hill is probably the most physical runner on the Saints team. I do believe he is the most physical runner, more than even Latavius Murray. Taysom Hill is not afraid to lay the wood on a linebacker or a defensive back. He is not afraid to truck over some people. My only caveat is, will he fumble the football? If he can protect that football, I'm more than happy to let him go do whatever he wants to do to defensive backs and linebackers. If he wants to run them over, by all means, lay the smack down, my brother. Just protect that football while you're at it. But I do believe Taysom Hill is going to be that X factor. If Taysom Hill can show like that Latavius Murray type of vision in terms of finding the hole and making the cutbacks, then I'm very much looking forward to that. man. That's a fun prospect to think about. So long he's not turning the football over. Rose City says special teams can be big. They need to open up lanes for Tommy Lewis and Callaway. The thing about Tommy Lee Lewis to get north and south as much as he should. He's got all that speed, but he's trying more so to dance around lateral, trying to find lanes, but he just needs to go straight north and south. That's it. Whether you get 2 yards, 5 yards, it doesn't matter. So long as you're picking up positive yards to give the Saints the best field position, because that is your MO. That is your 4-1-1. That is your main objective. You need to give the Saints offense the best field position possible. And I don't believe he's doing that as much. All he needs to do is make sure he's doing that to keep this game in the Saints' favor, and make sure you bleed that clock out while you're at it. When you have the chance to run south, you take it, Tommy Lee. Please. Jesse Michael says, need Jared Cook to be 100% focused and on the same page. Love Van Chapman. I agree with you on Jared Cook. Jared Cook needs to be on his P's and Q's. I don't know what's been going on with him this past season. This is looking like to be his last year. The way Adam Chapman is playing, I do believe they go into the draft to pick up another tight end to supplement what Jared Cook has been able to do these past couple of years. But Jared Cook looks like he's kind of slow. He's kind of running the wrong routes. He's not turning his head around enough. His ball slipping through his fingers. I do believe Jared Cook is going to see his last final games here in black and gold. And I'm not even going to hate on him because of the simple fact that last year the man was a beast. So Jared Cook, if you ever see this, thank you from the State of Black and Gold podcast for what you brought to this Saints team in terms of tight end leadership and being that big factor and postseason contention. I appreciate you, Jared Cook. I really do. But I do believe your time is coming at an end, and I do believe Adam Chapman is going to fill that role. And he's doing a really good job at it. Adam Chapman's blocking grade is the best out of all tight ends this season. Adam Chapman's run blocking grade is the best out of all tight ends this season. That's better than Travis Kelce. That's better than George Kittle. That's better than Robert Tonyan. That's better than Austin Hooper. Better than Michael Everett out of Los Angeles. This guy's run blocking was one of the things the Saints have questioned and want him to get better at in terms of run blocking and pass protecting. He's already got the run blocking down. He's already opened up several holes for Latavius Murray and Alvin Kamara to exploit in terms of getting to the edges. So shouts out to Adam Chapman and picking up on that as quickly as he did. To get number one run blocking grade out of all tight ends in your rookie year, the big things are going to open up for you. The question is who will play fullback with Burton now? That will be tight end Garrett Griffin. Garrett Griffin has been elevated from the practice squad to the active roster to supplement this spot for Michael Burton. That has been confirmed, and Rose City confirmed it also. So shout out to Rose City in answering that question. TDI says the NFL hates us. I don't know why the NFL hates us. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It's been like that since post Super Bowl, post 2009 Super Bowl for the New Orleans Saints. I don't know what the Saints team did to Roger Goodell to make him hate us so much, but to gut our Super Bowl caliber team the way he did back in 2012, to suspend Sean Payton for a year, when there's been other teams and former players, upset teams that came out and said that they've been part of Bounty Gates. You've done nothing about that. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And speaking of Bounty Gate, there wasn't even no evidence. All them evidence was dropped. That's just, I believe that's just Roger Goodell just being petty. I believe he's trying to set some kind of point. But what point were you trying to make? The Saints were innocent. Just get over it. And I believe, it just doesn't make any sense. It really don't. We're going to read a few more of these and we're going to get out of here. Agreed. Tomorrow takes some offensive line, best player on the field. I mean, it's possible. It's highly possible. I can see that. I can most definitely see that. I don't know what happened, but yeah, let's go ahead and get back into these things here right quick. Let's go ahead and read a couple more of these. That was weird. I don't know what happened. I might have to look at my PC again. Marcus Ryan says, with all the players on the COVID list, if they get cleared, we have to hope we get a Sunday game. If we don't get a bye so they can play. The 1 seed is absolutely crucial for the Saints team, Marcus. It hasn't been any more important than it has been in this moment in time. When you have players getting put on a COVID list or injured reserve, and I believe we're going to get Michael Thomas and Deontay Harris back for the wild card if we do end up with the 2 seed. But you want that bye week to get everybody back, and I mean everybody. So if they can just handle their business, I do believe Chicago and Seattle are going to give the Saints the 1 seed if they can just take care of what they need to take care of in Carolina. Read a couple more here. Rose City says, Saints need to come out fast and score. I have Breeze throw 35 plus. I feel paid will try and throw. Coach can't abandon the run. Gotta let it develop. Look, running the ball is absolutely crucial. I agree with you, bro. You need this. You need the Saints offense to run the football no matter who is back there. You need to get out of there as fast as possible. Go in, handle business, get out. And how you do that, you run the football, you bleed as much clock as possible. Be methodical. Don't worry about taking shots down the field. Do what Drew Brees does best. Even if you have to dink and dunk all your way to the red zone to score, I don't care. Dink and dunk if you have to. Just keep chopping away bit by bit on drives and score. And then get out of there. That's what my mindset and coming into tomorrow's game is. And I hope Sean Payton thinks the same way. You still can be a productive run team with Ty Montgomery and Tony Jones and Taysom Hill. But that's it. That's all for tonight, guys. I appreciate everybody that came by. It has been an absolute blessing to do this pregame show. I wanted to go a little longer, but you know how it is. You know, grandma and all that. And I had to make sure tomorrow the PC is running the way it should for the live reaction to the Saints game. I will be wearing my white jersey, my white Super Bowl number 21 jersey. That was Bell, I believe it was. Shout out to Bell, I believe. If you're out there somewhere, if you're not, rest in peace to you, my brother. But that's it. That's all. You know, if you weren't here for the schedule, it is going to be every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. You will see yours truly post a video, whether it be me doing a live, maybe a pregame show, a postgame show, or final thoughts, or you just see me post a video talking about the Saints injury reports and the keys to victory and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I love you guys. I will see you all tomorrow, and let's hope these Saints can take care of business. Let's hope this Sean Payton can take care of business. So number 9 takes care of business. And let's pray. Please let us pray that no crucial Saints get injured in this game. And if anybody get injured, please let it be minor. No injuries to receivers. No injuries to the offensive line. No injuries to the defensive line. Let's just make sure everybody comes out of this game healthy. For once, please. Like I said, that's it. That's all. For those of you who want to share your Shuli's platform around to your friends, I invite everybody, whether you're a Saints fan or not, whether you're repping the Falcons, whether you're repping the Panthers, whether you're repping the Bucks, the Vikings, the Eagles, the Rams. If you got football friends who want to talk football and debate, let's go ahead and get them all together here. Let's keep building this community together. We are still on track to reach 1K subscribers. Okay, we are almost there. Let's keep pushing to that goal. If we can get 1K subscribers by the end of the year, I will think heavily on doing a giveaway. So please, let's go ahead and get these 1K so your boy can get something together and make a potential giveaway happen. You know what I'm saying? Who does a little giveaway? Come on. You don't want to give away for yours truly? Come on, man. You can't be sales. And that's it. That's all. I'll see y'all tomorrow for my live reaction. Remember, we bleed black and gold until we are dead and cold. Deuces.